Savings and computation demonstration.
As I specified before, now I'm going to do the simple migration of a single on-prem server from on-prem to AWS using AWS MGN service. Let's get into the migration. Let's get into the demonstration. Sorry. You can see this is AWS application migration service service portal where you can see this is application migration service portal. You can see the section called source services. So in this source service, your on-prem server has to be added in this section so that once it has been added in this section, your by default application migration service will start migrating your server from on-prem to AWS. So you can see the existing server over there. The server name is Rain, which is on-prem server. It has been the data replication status. You can see it as healthy, which means it has been already migrated to AWS and it is available. Now we can see how we can add the servers in this section. Like you have to select your operating system. If it is an old version, you have to select the checkbox, legacy OS checkbox. You have to select if your Windows version is old. The next thing is you have to select your replication preferences. You have to select replicate all disks because you are going to migrate whole of your server. And another important thing is IAM access key ID and IAM secret access key ID. So these two IDs will be provided to you once you purchase the AWS subscription. So you can copy that key ID from wherever you have storing that information. And most importantly, the another thing which you have to do is you have to install the AWS replication agent on your on-prem server. So the installation link has been provided in this portal itself, AWS portal itself. So this is on-prem server. You have to copy that link and you can download that AWS replication agent installer. So this can be placed in the physical server in your on-prem server. So this this installer has to be executed here. So once it has to be executed, a command has to be executed over here. So once that command has been executed here, then your on-prem server will be available in your AWS portal. So for that, we have to go to CMD and we have to navigate to the location where we have placed that installer file. So once we have navigated to that installer file, we can copy that command from AWS portal itself. So from that portal, we can copy that command and we can execute it over here. Once we did the execution, our on-prem server will be available in AWS. Now we are going back to AWS to copy that command. It will be in a fifth position. You can see that command. You can just copy it and you can, once you execute it, it will show the message successfully installed. Then you can come back to AWS MGN service and you can see your on-prem server has been added. So the initial status is initiating, which means AWS MGN service have started the migration and it is starting to create an instance in AWS. Once it has been successfully created, the replication status will be changed to healthy. So once it is changed to healthy, then you can select the server and then you can launch the test instances. So once you launch the test instances, that instance will be open and you can cross verify all your server configuration, like whatever the server configuration it has in on-prem, you can cross verify all the server configuration. If the server is a data repository server, then you can check your data repository properties and metadata, everything you can check. And once you have cross verified and everything was fine, then you can launch the cutover instances. If you're launching the cutover instances, it means your connection with your application and an on-prem server will be cut off and your application will be available in AWS from that point. So this is how I just demonstrated with a single server, single on-prem server. You can demonstrate with multiple servers also. So this is how simply we can do migration using AWS MGN service. We have to run a command in on-prem server using AWS replication agent, and once you run that command, then your server will be available in your AWS MGN service portal. So once it is available here, then the rest of the activities will be taken care by the replication job, which is on the back side. So this is how simply we can do the migration using application MGN service. So the platform supported for AWS migration. So it simply supports any application. You can migrate any application using AWS MGN service. And the database could be anything while you're migrating from on-prem to AWS MGN service, or the source infrastructure could be anything. and it can migrate any operating system. And as I explained, the source infrastructure could be anything. You can see we have, I have displayed the list of the sample products through which application migration has been has been already completed using AWS MGN service. So on application side, you can see SharePoint, Microsoft IaaS, which is .NET. On database, you can see Oracle, SQL Server, on MySQL. On operating system, you can see Windows, Red Hat, and Linux. And source infrastructure, you can see physical data centers, VMware, and Azure. So these are all the sample for platform supported for this AWS migration.